Hey everyone, what's up? It's Celador. I wanted to start out this video by saying that I absolutely despise nanny laws. And for those of you who don't know, a nanny law is a law which makes things mandatory to protect oneself, to protect your own self. For example, making it illegal to ride a bike without a biking helmet, or making it mandatory to wear a seatbelt in your car. These are things which the government is basically saying we don't trust you enough to mind your own safety. It's your body, it's your mind, it's your decisions. As long as you're not affecting anyone else, then these things are okay by me. And they should be. There should be no victimless crimes. A victimless crime is a crime where the only victim is yourself, such as like going to jail for smoking marijuana. Well, who did you affect by smoking marijuana? You've only hurt yourself, and you shouldn't go to jail for punching your elbow or something like this. I mean, it fucking makes no sense to me. And so on the surface, and this is kind of what I want to talk about today, is vaccines. And on the surface, the decision of whether or not to get yourself vaccinated, seems like a decision that you should be able to make for yourself. I mean, if you wanna not get yourself vaccinated and then risk contracting a deadly disease, well, that's your own body, that's your own life. That's what tough shit if you get the disease and die. I mean, it's your own fault. If that were the case, if the only person that not getting vaccinated affected was yourself, then I'd be completely against making vaccines mandatory. But there's two things that I want to discuss, and I think I'll make a pretty good case for why I think that vaccinating yourself and your children should be mandatory under the law. Now, the first thing is that children, when parents decide whether or not to vaccinate their children, the children have no say in it. Okay, I used to know someone whose parents were sort of conspiracy theorist nuts, and they decided that the government was poisoning the public with vaccines and autism and just all sorts of fucking bullshit like that, which no evidence supports at all. In fact, the evidence contradicts it. And they decided not to vaccine their daughter, and she came down with a disease like polio, and now she's got severe physical disabilities and problems, and I just want to fucking punch them in the face. I mean, I don't care if they want to contract polio and fucking die, or become permanently disabled, but they did it to their daughter, a helpless child who had no say. Maybe that child didn't want to contract polio and wanted to live. I mean, that's child abuse to me, I feel like. The second thing I want to talk about is that is why everyone should make it mandatory to get vaccinated, children and adults alike. And the reason is because vaccines are not 100% efficient. Okay, there's a certain amount of efficacy that vaccines carry with them, and part of the reason why vaccines work at eliminating diseases, for example, like smallpox, is pretty much non-existent anymore. And the reason why it works is because not because everyone suddenly becomes immune to the disease, but rather because enough people get vaccinated that if a couple, if the vaccine doesn't work for a couple people, it won't matter because they'll be so spread apart in terms of geography and just exposure in general that they'll die, without being able to expose the disease because they're surrounded by people who are vaccinated, who are immune. So let me just give you guys a quick example to help illustrate what I'm talking about here. let's just, I'm just going to come up with a trivial example. Let's just say we had like a town, right? and there are people in this town, and let's say that they're all vaccinated for a disease. It doesn't matter which one, whatever. And let's say one of them, miraculously contracts it. Now, and let's also assume that the vaccine for this disease has a 95% efficacy. That means, if you get the vaccine, you have a 95% chance of not getting the disease. So what's the probability if that person that contracted it by chance exposes it to 4 people? What's 4 people? What's the probability that one of those people will have contracted the disease? Well, it's pretty low. It's about 18.5% actually. So the disease will most likely end with that person. It will most likely die off without actually coming, harm to anyone else. And that's like I just mentioned. That's how vaccines work. That's why they work well. But now let's create a little bit of a different scenario. Let's assume that a quarter of the people in this town have not been getting their vaccinations because of, I don't know, conspiracy theories or some bullshit like that. So now, even though most of the people in the town are getting their vaccinations, now this one person who miraculously contracted it, let's just say, he exposes it to 4 people, and now one of them is not going to be vaccinated and easily contracts the disease that he's exposed to. And let's say this happens a few more times. Let's just say it happens 5 times. Nothing out of the ordinary there. The first person exposes it to one other person, who exposes it to one other person, who exposes it, etc. Only 5 times. Okay. So now there's a total of 15 people who are vaccinated who are being exposed to this disease. So what's the probability now that none of these 15 people have contracted the disease? Well, it's more unlikely than it is likely. That is, it's more likely that one of them will have contracted the disease than that none of them will at all. It's about a 54% chance that at least one of them will contract it. So now you have this situation where people in this town that are unvaccinated are actually a danger to the people that are vaccinated. They increase the overall level of exposure, to the vaccinated population, and the probability therefore increases pretty dramatically, exponentially in fact, that one of those people will contract the disease and possibly die, or whatever happens. And so here we're in this situation where the people who aren't vaccinated are actually directly causing harm to the people who are. And if this was something like a drunk driver or something, the government makes drinking and driving illegal, not because it hurts yourself. Well, maybe that's a little bit, but to me, the reason why drinking and driving is illegal is not because they're going to hurt themselves, but because they're a danger to others. The government wants to remove the danger that drinking and driving has to other people. That they're keeping the safety of others in mind, and that's why laws are good. That's what laws are for. They're to protect people from other people. Okay, and I think that I've just shown decently that vaccinations that people do need to get vaccinated, because unvaccinated people present a danger to those that take good care of our bodies. So anyways, any questions, comments, concerns, let me know, and take it easy, guys. All right, thanks, bye.